Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today we are doing a balance flow. So roll out your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll hop right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. Now we're going to begin by warming up the whole body and practicing transferring our weight with some happy elephants. Lengthening the arms out nice and wide, taking the feet out towards the outer edges of the mat or just a little wider. And we'll open in one direction, letting the arms swing around and the other, and we'll move back and forth, lifting the back heel up off of the mat as we turn, so we're taking some of the pressure out of the knees. I'm going to let the arms move of their own free will. They can come around and gently tap the body, or they can stay out to our sides. Now letting the arms run out of momentum, coming back to our center, back to our mountain pose. We'll lift the shoulders up to the ears, work them back and down the spine, rotate the pinky fingers forward so that our shoulders are back and down. We'll stack the top of the head over the neck and close the eyes. Now taking our attention down to our feet. We can wiggle the toes. We can rock the feet in towards the inner arches or out towards the pinky or outside edge of the foot. As we notice our feet. Maybe as we try and grip the ground a little more with the toes. Or as we just move our weight around. Bringing our awareness down to the point where a lot of our balance comes from. Now with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead, reaching tall to the sky. With our exhale, we'll sweep the arms out as we bow the chest forward. Inhale for a halfway lift, lengthening out through the top of the head, gripping down with the toes. And with our exhale, we'll fold forward again. Finding a little movement here. Maybe we'll continue with our feet, rolling up onto the tippy toes and lifting the heels, or lifting the toes and pressing into the heels. Maybe finding a sway or slight bounce to the upper body. And then we'll plant the feet back down on the floor, gripping with the toes, so pressing the toes into the earth. And we'll drop the top of the head straight down from the neck. Same thing with the hands, dropping them down from the shoulders, maybe wiggling everything out a little to help soften the muscles of the neck and the arms. And we'll start at the base of our tailbone. At the lowest point of our spine, we'll roll one vertebrae up past the next, still gripping through the toes as we slowly lift the upper body back on top of the legs. At the top of our roll, we can do some shoulder rolls or shrugs. We can wiggle out some more. And with our next inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead again, interlocking all fingers but the pointer, and reaching those hands up to the sky. Now we're going to move our weight into our left foot to pick up the right. Taking our time, we'll move the right foot over to our left side, dropping the toes down to the mat. And then we'll reach the hands over to our left side as well. So we have this side stretch. And with our inhale, we'll lift back up again, bringing the right foot down. And we'll do the other side, picking up the left, moving it over to the right, dropping the toes, and then reaching over to the right side. And back up through the center again. Drop both feet down and wiggle it out. With our inhale, we'll reach both arms up to the sky again as we move our weight into our right foot. Pick up the left knee and we'll reach the knee up to the ceiling, holding and pausing here. And now we're going to drape that left across our right, right above the knee, pointing the left toes down to the floor as we find our figure 8 shape. Hands can come to heart center or they can stay up over the head, but we're going to press the hips back behind as we add a little bend to our right leg and move to our figure 4. Now we have the option to stay hovered here. We also have an option to bring the forearms down to our left leg, or we have the option to place our pointer and middle fingers down on the floor and extend our right leg. Finding an option here that feels right to you and your body and what you're hoping to get out of this class. With an inhale, we'll start lifting up from the chest, extending our right leg long again. As we remove the left from our right, send that left knee up. And then we'll open the hip, so our left knee will move out to our left side, pausing here. And then we'll bring the bottom of the left foot to the right leg for a tree pose. Now we can always have a lower tree. We can always have our toes on the floor, or we can have our heel all the way tucked up against our right thigh. We'll open through the hip again, taking the knee out to our side. And with an in-breath, we'll reach up to the ceiling. Now from here, if we're finding it fairly easy to hold this tree pose, we're going to add a little bit of wind to our tree. Swing the arms around side to side and noticing how the bottom of the right foot adjusts and moves and wiggles to re-find our balance again. It's okay if you fall out of your tree pose. Just hop back into it. And we'll continue to move as we challenge the bottom of our right foot. And we'll move back to our center. Slowly removing the left foot from the right leg. And we'll step the left down and wiggle out. And back to our mountain pose again, stacking the body. And taking a big breath in. before letting the breath go again. With our next in breath, we'll circle arms up overhead as we move our weight into our left and pick up our right. Sending that right knee up towards the ceiling. We'll hold here. Now opening through the hip, taking the knee out to the side, and we'll bring the shin to just above our left knee, crossing the legs, pointing the right toes down to the floor as we move to our figure four again. Hips will go back behind as we add the bend into the left knee, and we can hover here. We can drop the forearms down to the shin, or we can lengthen through the left leg, finding a variation that feels good again in your body. And gripping down through the toes. With our inhale, we'll start to lift up from the chest again, removing the shin from our leg. And we'll open through the hip again, holding out here to our side. And then to our tree pose, keeping the hip nice and open. And we'll find our drishti, or our non-moving spot, to focus our attention on as we find that balance. Good. Once we find some balance here, and if we're feeling up to it on this side, keeping in mind that our balance is different on both sides because we use different sides of our bodies for different things. We can add wind to our branches as we press down, gripping the floor with our left foot. And again, if you fall out of this pose, that is totally all right. You can just hop back into your tree pose. Good. We'll remove the bottom of the foot, and again, take knee out to the side, pausing. And then setting the right foot down on the floor, wiggle out a little bit more. And we'll make our way to the top of our mat. With a full breath in, we'll reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, we'll swan dive the chest forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Now adding as much of a bend to the knees as we need to drop the fingertips down on the floor in front of us. We'll move our weight into our right foot so that we can pick up the left and send it back behind. Holding here. And really reaching up with the toes or with the heel of the left foot. And we'll set those left toes down for our lunge. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. We'll press evenly into both feet to help us lift the chest. Reach the arms to the ceiling, crescent lunge. And we'll bring hands to heart center as we open the hips to our side mat, dropping the left heel down perpendicular to the right. So we're into our warrior two position, but we'll keep hands at heart center for now. Now, hinging from the waist, we're going to bring the upper body over our right leg. So we have a long left side all the way up and over, and we're hovering our right elbow. We're not dropping it. We're holding it here, nice and strong. Now, if you would like to add another element, you can reach the arms out in front and hold here. Pressing down through our right leg will lift us back up. And then we'll reach towards the back of our mat. So we have a long right side this time. You can interlock the fingers if you'd like, or they can still be at heart center. We'll bring the chest over top of the hips, add the bend back into the right, and warrior two. Pausing here. Pressing down through the outside edge or the pinky edge of both feet. We'll bring hands to heart center, bringing shoulders over to our left side so we're in line with our hips. We'll extend our right leg long again. And we're going to drop down to our back heel, our left leg, finding a squat and pausing. Pressing down through the left will lift us back up to our warrior two. And our back hand, our left hand, will drop down in front of the body as we lift onto the tippy toes of our left leg to our crescent lunge again. And we'll drop the hands to heart center. And we're going to do the same thing as that we did before, just this time with a twist. So we're hinging from the waist, so our weight is over our right leg. And then we'll twist open to our right side. We're going to hover the elbow over the knee and hold here. Slowly untwisting back to our crescent lunge again. And with our exhale, we'll drop the hands down beside the feet, popping us up onto our right leg. Extend the left long. And we'll bring the left down beside our right. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan diving the arms. We'll sweep them out to our sides as we lift the chest up to the ceiling. Reach the hands up tall. Exhale, reverse, sweeping the arms out to the sides as we bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down on the floor, adding as much of a bend to the knees as we need to move our weight into our left. We'll pick up the right and press it back behind. Then we'll set that right foot down. Full breath in. And an even larger breath back out here in our lunge. With our next inhale, we'll sweep the arms up to the ceiling, crescent lunge. we'll lift and pivot open to our right side. So our feet are now perpendicular. We can bring hands to heart center as we hinge from the waist, bringing our chest over our front leg, our left knee. And again, we have the option to extend the arms up over the shoulders and reaching towards the top of the mat. We'll press down through the front leg and reach the hands up and over to the back of the mat. Shifting forward again, and we'll add the bend back into our left, warrior two. Now hands come to heart center. We'll lengthen out through the left leg, and we'll drop the hips down to our right heel, squat. Pressing into the right to lift us back up, warrior two. And our right hand will drop down to the floor as we pivot back onto our tippy toes of the right leg, crescent lunge. Hands will come to heart center. We'll shift the chest forward over our left leg, rotating from the lower abdomen over to our left side for our gentle twist, hovering elbow over the knee. We'll untwist again, back to our crescent lunge, reach the arms up. And with our exhale, we'll bring the hands down beside our left foot. Pop us up onto the left. We'll extend the right leg back behind. And then we'll lower the right leg down beside the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, reverse swan dive the arms. Will bring us back up to standing. Exhale this time, hands to heart center. And we'll pause here. Still noticing the feet, displaying the toes out wide. Pressing into the earth. Allowing the bottoms of the feet, the soles of the feet, to ground into the earth, to pull strength and stability up into the body. And I'll take another large breath in through the nose. And let it go as a sigh. Another big breath in through the nose. And out as a sigh. One more time. In through the nose. And we'll really press this breath back out, fully letting go of the breath. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.